We had a sort of discussion about where or where not we were going to go. In a stunning turn of royal events, Princess and then King Charles drop a bombshell that has Buckingham Palace reeling. We can't keep this hidden any longer. What secret could shake the very core of the British monarchy? Behind the palace walls, whispers have grown too loud, and now duty, legacy, and loyalty collide. From hushed meetings to breaking royal protocol, this revelation could rewrite everything we thought we knew. Grab your tea, because this royal confession is about to make global headlines, and nothing will be the same again. Behind palace walls, beneath the polished surface of royal life filled with sparkling jewels, grand events, and relentless gossip, lies a world far more complicated, personal, and emotionally charged than most people can imagine. Behind those iconic palace gates, where tradition and duty are law, one evening became the backdrop for a moment that would send quiet shockwaves through Buckingham Palace, and perhaps even through history itself. It happened during what should have been a splendid royal banquet, a night of elegance, glittering gowns, and toasts raised under golden chandeliers. But amidst the clinking of glasses and polite laughter, a royal confrontation unfolded, one that no one saw coming. Princess Anne, known for her sharp mind, steady composure, and unwavering sense of duty, broke the fragile silence with a statement that sliced through the room like a blade. Turning to Queen Camilla, she spoke with poise but with unmistakable resolve. "You are the queen consort, not the queen." The room fell still. For a split second, time seemed to freeze. Some guests stared in disbelief, unsure whether they had truly heard what they thought they had. But those who knew and understood, she doesn't speak unless it matters, and that night, it mattered more than ever. This wasn't a simple disagreement over royal etiquette. It was a deep, principled stand rooted in memory, loyalty, and a promise made long ago, and had been one of the most loyal defenders of their late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, who had quietly insisted that Camilla should never be more than queen consort, a respectful nod to tradition and the enduring shadow of Princess Diana, according to a palace source, and had even reminded Camilla before. "The queen said you should remain queen consort." That's what she wanted. But it didn't end with titles, and accused Camilla of overreaching, of expanding her influence within the royal circle and subtly redefining the family's inner structure. What had once been whispers of discontent became a silent battle of wills, playing out in glances and guarded conversations. At the heart of this royal storm stood King Charles, pulled between a sister protecting their mother's legacy and a wife shaping a new chapter of the monarchy. He was forced to make a painful choice, one that would shift the balance of power within the palace. In the end, his decision sent quiet tremors through the royal walls. The tension didn't make headlines, but those close to the family know that night changed everything, founded on mutual respect, which has stood the test of time. And though the banquet ended, the echoes of Anne's words still linger in the palace halls. What position does Princess Anne hold in the royal family that gives her the courage to challenge Camilla? Let's take a brief look at who Princess Anne is. The relentless royal trailblazer, Princess Anne, often referred to as the royal family's most reliable anchor, has spent her life serving the public with unwavering dedication. Since the age of 18, she has carried out over 20,000 official engagements, solidifying her reputation as one of the hardest-working members of the royal family. Known for her no-nonsense attitude and independent spirit, and has been nicknamed the Royal Renegade for her decision not to give titles to her children, a choice that sets her apart from the traditional royal path. Her bluntness and sharp sense of humor have made her a polarizing figure in the public eye. Once criticized as aloof and haughty by the media, she earned the cheeky nickname her Royal Rudeness after famously telling photographers to naff off during a 1982 incident. But while her demeanor may seem unfiltered, Princess Anne has always viewed her royal role as a genuine commitment to service. Her deep involvement with Save the Children and other charities has helped her gain a profound understanding of global issues, and she remains a passionate advocate for the causes. She supports Princess Anne's work ethic is unparalleled. Between 2002 and 2022, she completed an astounding 11,088 engagements, more than any other royal during that time. Her dedication to service, coupled with her unique and eccentric style, has earned her the affectionate title of National Treasure in Britain. Anne's unpretentious attitude is evident in her approach to public engagements. Rather than relying on royal staff, she drives herself to events, and has even chosen not to shake hands with the public during walkabouts, acknowledging that it's impossible to greet everyone personally. Her sense of style has made her a fashion icon in her own right. Known for her commitment to sustainability, and often chooses British brands and embraces timeless equestrian-inspired looks. She's not afraid to break royal fashion rules, wearing military uniforms and bold brooches at formal events. In addition to her personal fashion influence, Anne plays an active role in promoting the British fashion industry, serving as the patron of the UK Fashion and Textile Association. Despite facing occasional public scrutiny, Anne's resilience and authenticity continue to shine. Whether advocating for accessible sailing or supporting the National Lighthouse Museum, she stays true to her values. Even after being convicted in 2002 for having a dangerously out-of-control dog, Anne remains a respected and admired figure. Her ability to balance royal duties with personal integrity, pleasure of sitting next to you before, and I thought perhaps you decided that as you knew what is in store, you decided to go elsewhere, has made her one of the most beloved members of the royal family. Princess Anne's cold attitude towards Camilla is being attributed by many to the feud that has refused to vanish. Let's dig into the details of what existed between Anne and Camilla, the feud that refuses to die. At first glance, it's hard to understand why two high-ranking royal women, Princess Anne and Queen Camilla, don't seem to get along. But as we dig deeper into their past, the reasons behind their strained relationship become much clearer, and surprisingly, a lot more personal. Before Camilla ever became royalty, she was in a relationship with Andrew Parker Bowles. What many people don't realize is that Andrew was once deeply in love with Princess Anne. They had a strong connection, and for a time, they both envisioned a future together. However, their love story hit a major obstacle. Andrew was Catholic, and Anne, being a member of the Church of England, couldn't marry him under the rules of the time. The royal family stepped in, and their relationship ended, leaving Anne devastated. Not long after, Andrew married Camilla. For Anne, this felt like a double betrayal. Losing Andrew, the man she had once hoped to marry, and watching him marry the woman who had become part of her royal circle. But the story didn't end there. Years later, Camilla went on to marry Prince Charles, who was not only the Prince of Wales, but also the brother of the woman she had unknowingly hurt. I can't remember anybody except the Queen being there. It must have been so difficult for her being, solitary woman. This seemed like history repeating itself in the most painful way possible for Anne. Princess Anne never really warmed to Camilla. At Charles and Camilla's wedding in 2005, there were reports of Anne giving Camilla the cold shoulder. The media picked up on her stiff posture and icy glances, interpreting them as a sign of her disapproval. While the public gradually accepted Camilla as the new royal consort and remained firm in her stance, she continued her close friendship with Andrew, who remained an important figure in her life, even becoming the godfather to her daughter. Rumors began to spread that Camilla resented the bond between Anne and Andrew, but Anne made it clear she wasn't bothered by them. She was resolute in her belief that as a blood-born royal, she should hold a higher rank than someone who had married into the family. To Anne, royal tradition mattered, and she fought to uphold it. At King Charles's coronation, Anne's grand entrance on horseback in full military regalia wasn't just a nod to tradition. It was a bold statement. While Camilla quietly accepted her new title and commanded attention, she wasn't just attending a ceremony. She was asserting her position in the royal family, and on that day, no one, not even the king, dared challenge her authority. Let's dive into Camilla's long road to acceptance, especially from the public. The people's verdict. For many years, Camilla has struggled to reshape her identity within the royal family, seeking to carve out a new narrative for herself. Yet despite her persistent efforts, the shadow of Princess Diana continues to hang over her, and the public has been unwilling to let go of the past. When Camilla first entered the public eye, she was almost universally labeled as the other woman, the one who had come between Prince Charles and the beloved Princess Diana. Even after her marriage to Charles in 2005, public opinion remained slow to warm to her. The fairy tale that many had once envisioned with Diana at its heart was shattered by scandal, heartbreak, and betrayal. As a result, Camilla, whether fairly or unfairly, was cast as the villain in a story that had once been filled with hope. Even Queen Elizabeth was unsure about their union, and the Church of England opposed it too, largely because of Camilla's past divorce. This led Charles and Camilla to choose a more understated civil ceremony, far removed from the grandeur and tradition typically associated with royal weddings. Despite the chilly reception, Camilla did not retreat into the shadows. Instead, she committed herself to a variety of charitable causes, from raising awareness about osteoporosis to advocating for domestic abuse victims, supporting literacy, and championing animal welfare. Camilla threw herself into efforts that would help others. Over the years, her hard work began to receive recognition, earning her accolades and slowly softening some of the public's coldness toward her. I think the one I enjoyed reading more than anything. But despite her commitment to these causes, it often felt like it wasn't enough to erase the weight of history. When Princess Anne criticized Camilla's use of the title Queen, many people quietly agreed with her. For a significant number of the public, Diana would always remain the Queen of Hearts. Although Camilla wore the crown, Diana's legacy continued to live on in the hearts of millions. Nevertheless, Camilla remains by Charles's side, carrying herself with poise and dignity despite the murmurs, the skeptical looks, and the underlying tension that lingers within the royal family. Whether she will ever fully win the affection of the public is still uncertain. One thing is clear, though: her presence, both within the royal family and in the broader public consciousness, continues to spark debate and controversy. As for her legacy, it is far from settled. The journey of her place in royal history is still unfolding, and the road ahead will likely be just as complicated and contentious as the one she has already navigated. Apart from the strained relationship with, and Camilla seems to have a strained relationship with Kate. Is it rivalry or a mere dislike? Let's find out. Royals, rivals, and resentment behind the grand, glittering walls of the royal palace. Where everything appears flawless and serene, there exists a quiet undercurrent of tension, a subtle rift that few dare to speak of. The noticeable yet often overlooked coolness between Queen Camilla and Princess Kate. When Kate Middleton first stepped into the royal spotlight, she quickly won the favor of Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen saw in Kate a poised and dedicated young woman, someone who one day could wear the crown with grace, fulfilling her duties with honor. However, Queen Camilla's initial reaction was not as warm. According to whispers from those within the royal circle, Camilla harbored doubts about Kate's ability to adjust to royal life. It wasn't overt, but there was an unspoken skepticism, a quiet disapproval that didn't escape the attention of those around them. As the years went by, Kate's popularity only soared. The public grew to admire her for her elegance, her calm demeanor, and the way she managed the intense pressures of royal life with effortless charm. She seemed to embody everything that Camilla, despite her best efforts, had struggled to earn in the eyes of the public: respect, admiration, and a sense of tranquility under the constant scrutiny. This growing contrast between Kate's image and Camilla's own may have sparked an unspoken, yet undeniable rivalry between the two women in the royal court. Where every look and every gesture is closely examined, it's not hard to imagine how tensions could simmer without a single word being spoken. The palace, a place where silence can often speak louder than words, is a perfect backdrop for such a quiet rivalry. Both Camilla and Kate have carefully navigated their roles in the royal family, maintaining a delicate balance of diplomacy and decorum. But beneath the surface, the competition between them is palpable, a quiet force that lingers even if unacknowledged. While the public continues to witness their perfectly coordinated appearances, smiling and friendly during royal engagements, the hidden dynamics of their relationship remain largely unseen. Beneath their graceful smiles and polite exchanges lies a subtle tension, one that shapes their interactions and their roles within the royal family. The rivalry between Queen Camilla and Princess Kate may not be loud, but it's undeniably there, quietly present in every glance, every silence, and in the way each woman carries herself under the ever-watchful eyes of the world. Another possible factor that might be responsible for Camilla's rift with Kate is the Diana factor. Let's take a look at how Diana could have caused a strain in the relationship. The ghost of Diana. If there's one lingering presence that continues to cast a shadow over the grand halls of Buckingham Palace, it's the ghost of Princess Diana. This presence is felt especially strongly in the relationship between her son Prince William and Camilla, the woman whose role in the breakdown of his parents' marriage has made her a deeply controversial figure in his life. When Camilla first encountered the young prince, she was reportedly filled with apprehension. At the time, William was just a teenager, still reeling from the emotional toll of his parents' troubled marriage. Camilla, knowing her pivotal role in that painful chapter, feared how he would perceive her. Would he blame her for the heartbreak that had torn his family apart? This fear of judgment, do your tastes coincide? On what? On music. From someone who had suffered so much because of her actions, weighed heavily on Camilla's mind. Years have passed, but the scars from that time have never fully healed, and the tension between William and Camilla remains palpable. On the surface, their interactions are courteous and polite, but beneath that veneer, there's an undeniable coldness. William's respect for Camilla is evident, but there is always a certain reserve, a careful distance that suggests a deeper discomfort. Observers have pointed out that while William engages with her in a dignified manner, he does so with an air of caution, never letting his guard down. It's as though he's walking a fine line, aware of the personal pain that has shaped this relationship. This quiet, almost imperceptible frostiness isn't just the result of old wounds. It could play a crucial role in the future of the British monarchy. Behind closed doors, whispers circulate about William's plans for Camilla when he becomes king. While she currently holds the title of Queen Consort, there are rumors suggesting that William may have a different vision for her role. Some speculate that he could make decisions that would significantly alter her place in the royal family, reshaping her influence within the monarchy in ways that are still unclear. As the days go by, the weight of history continues to hang over them. The relationship between Prince William and Camilla remains a complex dance, one of respect, distance, and unspoken tension. What the future holds for this delicate dynamic, especially as William's responsibilities grow and he eventually ascends to the throne, is a subject of great interest and speculation. Will the past be left behind, or will it continue to shape the monarchy in unexpected ways? Let's look into Kate's activities that might have intensified her rivalry with Camilla, as she reminds the public of Diana, the people's princess. Kate Middleton's remarkable transformation from a shy, quiet university student to the future Queen of England is nothing short of a modern-day fairy tale. Her journey is one that captivates the heart and imagination, showing us that life can take us down the most unexpected and extraordinary paths. It all started in 2001 when Kate met Prince William, not at some glamorous royal event, but in the humble setting of a classroom at St. Andrews University. What began as a simple friendship soon blossomed into a love story that would defy odds and last through time. Despite facing her fair share of challenges, including breakups, intense media scrutiny, and the weighty expectations of the royal family, Kate's relationship with William grew ever stronger. But Kate's journey toward royalty wasn't a typical one. Unlike others who married into the royal family and were suddenly thrust into the spotlight, often without any preparation, Kate had her own private princess training. She spent years learning the intricacies of royal life, how to handle diplomacy, master royal etiquette, and cope with the pressures that come with being constantly in the public eye. This rigorous training may have been demanding, but it helped shape Kate into the poised, graceful woman who would one day stand beside her husband as the future queen. What makes Kate truly inspiring, though, is how she didn't just become a princess. She became a leader in her own right. Through her passionate work advocating for mental health awareness and early childhood education, Kate has forged a path for herself as a force for good in the royal family. Her initiatives have gone beyond the typical duties of a royal consort, making her not just a beloved princess, but also a champion of causes that mattered deeply to her. In many ways, Kate is seen as the rebirth of Princess Diana, a modern royal who, despite her noble title, remains down to earth and connected to her roots. Her authenticity, quiet strength, and unwavering sense of duty have earned her the love and admiration of people around the world. She radiates a queenly presence, but it's her kindness, relatability, and dedication to creating positive change that truly make her stand out. In a royal family still navigating the aftermath of the past, Kate symbolizes hope, renewal, and progress. My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I'm able. Her journey is one of resilience, grace, and a fresh modern vision of what it truly means to be a royal in today's world. What do you think about Camilla's position with Princess and other royals? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.